Okay, we are back finally through all the technical difficulties for the special episode with the Thousandaires Boys Club. How are y'all doing?
Good, really good.
I'm chilling like two penguins on an iceberg.
I'm good, guys. I'm good.
Oh man. This is a very special. We got a very special guest here. My boy, King of the Comics. How you doing, Ethan Murphy?
Man, I'm great. This is a great day. It's a great Sunday, man. I'm just elated to be here with all of y'all. Literally.
Nice. Right.
Oh man. Well, let's go ahead and get into it then. Our first topic that we have on the docket today.
Oh, we didn't. We gotta actually introduce.
Oh, I'm stupid.
Yeah.
Hey, it's all good.
It's
all good. All right.
Go ahead, man.
I'm gonna go first. This is Mike Hennessy. I'm with the TVC podcast. We and my old head, we do a show together. Just talking about different things, different various topics for blacks, for culture, for young, for old, for everything. It's a generational podcast. Is on and popping. We have fun talking. Old head, as usual, per usual. On this side, I'm sorry, on this side of me, the goofiest man. You got it, old head.
Yeah. It's not too much I got to say. Just, get on there and listen to both podcasts. You get educated, re-educated if you ain't that educated. And we all about having fun. So, come on out here and get what you can get out of it. And laugh at the end to tell you the truth. So it's what it is.
I like how we got both the old heads on one side of the screen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right. I just noticed that.
We plan that. We have wisdom over here and foolishness over here.
Facts.
Oh man,
foolishness and malarkey over on the other side.
Now that we have the introductions out the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and get to this first topic we have.
Okay.
All right, guys. Black people supporting each other. It's kind of a vague topic, but I guess we'll kick it off with age before beauty this time around. Mr. Robert, how do you feel about black people supporting one another?
I always think black people should support one another. They should do whatever they can to keep black businesses going. The only thing that I'm against is if you have a black business or whatever you may have, and we're supporting it or helping you get it off the ground, do whatever we have to do. Don't take advantage of it in the wrong way.
Yeah.
We ask that you don't take advantage of your own people in the wrong way, because now you're throwing yourself back at day one. Mm-hmm. Where you started. Then nobody wants to support you anymore because they know you're the type of person that's going to take advantage of people in an incorrect way or a vile way. And they're just going to go about their business and keep supporting everybody else, the Chinese, the white, the
Indian.
Whoever, all other different cultures except for your own. So I just ask that you don't take it there. Please don't take it there. If you want to flourish, do what you got to do in the right way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree with Robert Ohead, pardon me, entirely. I think that we, for some reason, as a people, blacks love to try to, especially in the entertainment industry, because I'm out here in Hollywood, and it seems like it's very much like it's a competition amongst blacks. Or people of color sometimes too, as opposed to us working together, trying to elevate one another, a rising tide basically all ships. It's much more like I need to get mine and get up above you before you can try to stab me in the back. And in the rare occasions where we actually do try to work together, do try to support each other, I love seeing that kind of stuff. I love seeing it where we actually we put all of our efforts together, we can make something that much bigger. The sum can be greater than the parts. But it's not necessarily always the case. And like Robert said, the pandering, or where you kind of the guilt tripping, like I'm a black owned business, Therefore, I deserve to have all the credit and all the money from all these black patrons. But of course, my product is ass. My product is the worst thing imaginable. But who cares? I'm black. It's like no. Being a black business is just the beginning. You need to actually have a quality product too. We are always held to a higher standard by every other measure. We should always keep that. We should keep that going. We should, of course, expect that much of each other too. So that's all I'll say about
And I think to add on to that, when you say the product, whatever the product is ass, the product is yourself too. The service, the service that you give to people is your product can be bad, but your service, if your service is ass, you really hurt yourself.
Yeah.
You really hurt your business. It'll go down real quick.
Yeah.
You got to serve. You want to go?
I actually had a question for you in particular because we ever went through the old heads.
Okay.
From your perspective, what do you think is keeping us from having something like another Black Wall Street, or something where black people just unify so strong that we just create this big like safe haven?
Me?
Yeah, it's a question. We already been through the old heads. We've been through the age. We at the beauty now.
So you're saying like what I think is holding us back, basically?
Yeah. What do you think is stopping us from having something that great again?
People. It's the people and it's the communities. There's a lot of people that don't care. That's the biggest part. We have to kill the mindset of toxic men, like in creating in more toxic women, and creating toxic futures for children, because you have people who never knew how to have something and they got too used to not knowing how to have something. They got comfortable with being in poverty. That's not fun. Like it's nothing fun about that. So I look at it as we have to find a way to change the mindset. A lot of us blacks think we should give them something for them to change. Whereas like, it's weird because when you try to give knowledge, the knowledge isn't enough, because it's like, well, what am I gonna do with that? I still need to eat. I still need to do this. So people are always in survival mode. So I do feel like we have to change mindsets. It has to be the mindset that has to change, because I can't give you $5 and then all you're going to do is reinvest it into something that's not going to really take care of you. It's not really going to show you how to go forward. There was a theory that was put out about something, and it was like, imagine if a homeless man, right? If he took I always said, like, a homeless person probably can actually get himself off his feet. And they was like, well, you can't do that. I'm like, it's not to disrespect it. It's just that if I look at it, if somebody gave me maybe, $20 a day, let's just hypothetically say they gave me $20 a day, and you just kept taking at least 75% of that money and putting it to the side every single day. If you got $20 a day every single day for a year, think about the math. You actually have a lot of money by the end of the year. Only thing you're worrying about is, of course, if you run into someone that's trying to steal from you, hurt you, do anything like that. But it's like, maybe you can go to a bank and say, listen, I'm homeless, I'm this, I want to invest. And that's something too that I feel like black people need to do too, is actually help each other as far as that. Helping a homeless person get a bank account. You think putting money always in our pockets is what's going to work, and that's not always a thing. That's what I said. If you give them if they had $20 a day and they took 75% of it and put it in their pockets, and probably take the rest of it and get the foods, get certain things, toiletries and certain things like that, they can help themselves, because sometimes relying on these government organizations, their intent is good, but like these two said over here, when you have ass staff, people who really don't care, they just want the paycheck, they're going to show that. Yeah. Man, I'm not here for you, man. Like you homeless, you know this. I'm here to get this check. And it's like the person who created it might not have that attention for it to be that way, but you didn't learn who you had on your staff. You didn't double check your staff. I'm not a micromanager, but at the end of the day, I do know I like things to be good. So Don't come on here and don't come in here and mess it up because you don't want to do right by yourself. Like it's too much freedom around things. I fire you, and then I'm going on unemployment, so I don't care. Like that's the part. It's like to help each other, you really I feel like you have to change. It has to change up here, because though you can have whatever money you want, but you're just going to reinvest it back into something that's not doing anything for you. So you're going to wind up coming right back full circle. That's the one thing about us that's happened sometimes. We go full circle and we come back, and we run right into the same problems we always do. So we need to change the mindset.
Absolutely, yeah. Breaking the cycle is what you're
Yes.
talking about. That's one of the big things that Oprah talks about, of course, too, because she came from extreme poverty, horrible situations. Of course, we all know this, but it's the idea of what she prides herself on is actually educating people in some of the situations like that too. And you're absolutely right, Michael. That's what we have to do. I think that's the biggest thing why Charlie and I are here, why you and Old Head are here too, is because we're not here to make money doing this show. We're here because we enjoy communing with each other. We also like the idea of passing on and setting up some kind of a discord with other people like us, to realize there are others out here like us. There are other blurs, there are other black men trying to do their own thing. There are other black people that are trying to come together. That's the mentality. The mentality is not profit. The mentality is not me before you. The mentality is if all of us succeed together, we can all get there faster and stronger.
Facts.
But that the mentality that we clearly have is not ubiquitous. It is not what is seen all over. It is much more of a minority. And I say minority, I mean as far as that mentality there's a much smaller quotient of people that are like that than there are that are those who are still are trying to just get their own first.
Yeah.
Right.
So I feel as though that black people
excuse me,
I feel like a lot of us have, as a culture, we have Stockholm syndrome. So to expound upon that, I recently worked at a domestic violence shelter, and me speaking to a lot of the battered women there, a lot of the women had a lot of issues with image issues and self-esteem issues because, again, their abusers were telling them they weren't going to be worth anything, they weren't to be doing anything, et cetera, and they internalized that. I feel like us as a people, again, maybe it's a stretch, maybe it isn't, but I feel like after like post-slavery or post all the Jim Crow laws and things we have like that, where they're telling us that we're 1/4 of a human being, or that we're property and XYZ, a lot of us internalize that. And you see that a lot with a lot of families where I know maybe it happened to you guys or people where you'll have like the mom or the dad be like, oh, you ain't shit. Your daddy wasn't shit. You're not gonna be shit either. Or why are you even trying to do that? You stupid as hell. Da da da. And maybe at that point in time, the parents or family members, whoever said it, didn't really mean that. They're just saying something to hurt you. But again, when you're a child and you hear things like that, you internalize these things. Yeah. And when you internalize these things, you are what you believe yourself to be.
Yes.
So I feel like us as people need to work on uplifting each other, maybe not coddling each other or babying each other from reality, but in the sense of, if I see my man Ethan looks good to someone, I'll be like, hey, bro, you looking good today, brother. Or you did a good job doing this. Like positivity, just saying a positive comment to somebody can keep them from doing something drastic or change their whole mood for that entire day.
And you have no idea how much a simple comment is simple, like, well done, good job, brother. Like today, Dev, Charlie, he showed us an intro that he put together for the show. And I was like, that's awesome, great job, brother. And I know, and Dev, I know Dev worked hard on it. He told me how many hours he's been into it. And it's way too common in our own culture for us to hate on each other, especially if someone else is doing something good. If we're like, how dare that person do over there? I'm jealous of him, but I'm gonna take my jealousy out by lashing out at him, essentially. It's like, no, get your own stuff in order first, and you won't mind seeing someone else thrive. You'll be happy that they're thriving. You'll realize their thriving is only a good thing. If anything, they can help you thrive too. So it's, again, going back to what Mike said, as far as the problem is mentality, the problem is people, and the problem is institutionalized inferiority complexes, like Charlie was talking about.
I have a quick question for Mr. Robert, actually. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, then, real quick, I want to add something to that. Y'all both said something that's very key to me, and I think for you, Charlie, we do need to be babied, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because there's a such thing of showing someone love like a father would show someone love. We don't show each other love like a mother would show each other love, because a lot of black women aren't respected. We need to start respecting our black women. Period. Like, and I don't mean that on some, I'm trying to be. No. It's like the same way you wouldn't allow someone to call your mother a bitch. It's the same way you should allow this black brother to not call another black brother a bitch. Because at the end of the day, one thing I feel like us as men forgot, that we have mothers. They forgot we came from a woman. We did not come. We came essentially from our fathers, but we came from a woman. That woman did everything. That love is why we're here. So that's a part of the mindset. I maybe need to give a hug. because you don't know how bad some people really want to cry.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't want it. It's so much testosterone. Everything in this world is based off of testosterone. And we've been whipped into shape. Even when it was happening in slavery, that was a different type of emotion. Now we're dealing with so much anger inside.
Yeah.
That's why so much killing happening. It's easy for them to kill because they have a disconnect of emotion. They think that, if I cry, I'm not being manly enough. No. Love yourself the same way you love your wife, the same way you love your mother, the same way you love your daughter. Love the right way, and that will change things too.
I completely agree. Yeah, completely agree. And also, I'll say something after that, but I knew you would ask a question to Robert.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, because my question may be on like a different tangent. So go ahead, my bad.
No, because I know because Robert's our guest, and we haven't heard much from him, so I want him to
Yeah, I had a question. Just obviously, you guys are a lot older than we are. There's obviously a big kind of crab in the bucket type mentality that Black people tend to have, where we feel like only one person can be on top, whether it's like a comedian or artist or athlete or whatever. Robert, my question to you: where do you think that maybe came from? Did you see that in your time growing up or as an adult, to where Black people kind of like resented somebody else for being successful or being envious?
I did, but it wasn't as bad as it is now. It's like as time rolls on, it's getting worse. Like you think about it in sports or whatever, they got this big thing going on between who's the GOAT between LeBron James and Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is clearly, because of his accomplishments, not only his accomplishment during his career in basketball, but what he did so much. He's
icon.
all around.
Yeah.
But whatever he had a flaw in, he fixed. LeBron never really fixed anything. He didn't correct a lot of stuff. Michael Jordan would take a whole team because he knew he was going to score on them. LeBron James is bigger than Michael Jordan. He's taller than him. He weighs more than him. It's easier for him to go in, take the ball to the basket and score on people or whatever. But he won't do it. His mindset is different. He'll pass off or whatever. And people don't see that. But my whole thing is, if you're gonna do this GOAT thing, don't do it by
malicious
this person and that person. Mm-hmm. Go by what they accomplished and what they basically what position. They're two different positions, so there should be no GOAT debate between them anyway. They're two different positions. Why would you put a small forward against a shooting guard? That doesn't make any sense. Now, if you said LeBron, if you said LeBron and like Larry Bird or something like that, or Magic Johnson or something, yeah, that's fine, because he's in the same. He plays the same position as those guys do. Right. But you can't sit there and keep pedaling back and forth about him, and it's no comparison. It's none. You can talk about all the accomplishments that LeBron had, and I'm good with his accomplishments and stuff. But if you look back at Jordan's tapes, if you look at what he corrected and how he just constantly did the same thing to anybody, you had to have 4 or 5 people guard one man. Who do you need? How many people do you need to guard LeBron James?
That right there is interesting.
There's nothing that you need to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, you don't do it by, what they've done in the game. You have to do it strictly by, all right, this is a shooting guard. This is a shooting guard. We're going to compare these two guys. This is your small forwards. We're going to compare. So if you do the GOAT thing, you do it by position. Don't sit there and say, oh, he's the greatest basketball player ever or greatest football player ever and stuff like that. That's just like Tom Brady. I don't see Tom Brady as being the greatest because he got 6 or 7 rings. I don't care about that. It's still a lot of quarterbacks out there that I think are better than him. It was just the systems that he played in. Pretty much. Yeah, he went to a different coach, but that coach made sure he was protected. Each time he was protected. They made sure he had a line to protect him. Whereas Aaron Rodgers and everybody got to run for their life. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if they were protected, they would probably be winning Super Bowls and stuff like that too.
Right.
So
I think what Mike was talking on too, because that question was verbose and it was impactful. It was powerful. I don't know that it hit what Charlie was going for, but it was an answer. It was an answer. It had lots of words and it was verbose. Well done there, Robert. But what Mike said though, I think was touching on it as well. The idea Mike brought up the idea of maliciousness. I think seeing Robert's enthusiasm, the enthusiasm as far as a comparison or having fun, that's great. But like Mike was saying, a problem that we have that we keep on going back to is the malicious nature of it. As far as if this person is the GOAT in this arena, whatever it be, basketball, singing, any kind of art, it's almost like it's me versus you. As opposed to celebrating all these different artists or all these different, athletes together.
I got you.
Yeah, that's basically where I was going at with it too, as far as that. Like, you definitely, when it comes to comparing, it's always fun to have, like, you guys, this is the debate show, right? That's exactly what it is. But if he wants to maliciously attack him, that's not a debate no more. This has now became an argument. It's became a war of words. That's not how you debate. That's not how you support. Like, I can talk about you and support you at the same time. I can sit back and say, hey, you might have been doing this wrong and doing that wrong, but at the end of the day, I love the fact that you have the enthusiasm to do what you did. I love the fact that you did. Yeah. We don't do that. A lot of, and then to answer something that y'all talking about when it comes to support, to me, I know why the black man don't support another black man. It's because, like, once again, you don't know how to love. So when you don't know how to love, you don't know how to support. It always circles back to women at the end of the day. At 100%, okay, if you can't love another man, why you can't love a woman? You can't love. Because if you love a man, you scared that you're gay. If you love a man, a lot of men fight with that, and it's like, dude, love. It's a word. It's a way of life. Yeah. If you can't love your black woman, you can't love your black men. You see, like what I'm saying.
But I'll take it a step back, actually, Mike, and say you can't love yourself either.
And you damn sure can.
That's the biggest. This is something that's a male thing, generational thing. I know Robert knows about this because I'm older than obviously Robert and I are the oldest here, but then Mike isn't too far off. But Charlie is much younger than us. Yeah. It was very much, I grew up in an environment, my dad literally never told me he loved me. He showed it all the time, but he never told me. And one time he told me that his father, before he died, never told him that he loved him. And he hugged him once before he died. And he loved his dad to pieces. And it's kind of a generational thing where it's institutionalized in men, especially black men, to never show weakness, never let them see you cry, never let them see you bleed, never let them see you love, as Mike is going to. And that's a massive problem. We have to be okay with loving each other, showing each other love, and loving ourselves. And until we can do those things, until we can love ourselves first, it's impossible for us to love anybody else. And if we can't love anybody else, there's going to be no progress. That's essentially the ethos, the thesis, everything of this episode. The synopsis, all of it. Why do black people have such a hard time supporting each other? Because we have such a hard time loving ourselves.
Yes, 100%. Yes.
And to add on to that,
well, this,
the things that happened to our people during slavery have done nothing but carry on forward, and that's why we're where we're at today.
Yeah.
Because they taught us how to hate each other. They taught us how to fight each other and kill each other for food and stuff like that. And it just continues to happen today.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Well, guys, this has been a great episode. We're gonna get another episode filmed for you guys very soon. Thanks for tuning in this week. This has been another episode of Then and Now. Thank you guys for stopping by and joining with us. We can't wait to get another one done for you.
Peace.